All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube Live. Today, we're talking about some common grammatical errors that ESL learners make when they're speaking English, when they're writing English. Hi, Getchni. Thank you for joining. All right, so we're going to be talking about why these constructions are incorrect, and hopefully this will help you on your English language journey. Okay, let me just send a reminder out. So the other students can join. Hello, Julner. Thank you for joining. All right. So the first, hi, Sue. This is actually not the Spanish class. It's the ESL class, English as a Second Language. So please return at 7:30 for Spanish. Okay, sí, hay clase de español, pero vamos a empezar a las 7:30. Okay, we're going to start at 7:30. All right, so the first error on the board is I don't understand nothing. This is something that people who are learning English will commonly say, okay? No, Su, no hay problema. Nos vemos a las 7:30, okay? All right, so this is something that people who are learning English will commonly say. I don't understand nothing. What is the problem with that sentence? Please put your answer in the chat. What is wrong with the sentence, I don't understand nothing? Please put your answers in the chat and let me see what you think. All right. While you guys are warming up, it's incorrect to say I don't understand nothing because in English you cannot have double negatives. Okay. So don't is negative, right? If you say, for example, I eat apples every day. To make that sentence negative, we say I don't eat apples every day. So don't is negative, right? And then nothing is also negative. The negative words are considered nothing, never, etc. So it's incorrect to say I don't understand nothing. We would need to change nothing to anything. Okay, so correct English would be I don't understand anything. Because in English, we cannot have double negatives. Okay? All right. So the next sentence on the board says, I didn't understood the lesson. I didn't understood the lesson. What is wrong with that sentence? And again, please put your answers in the chat. Write the correct sentence in the chat. Once more, for those who just joined, we're correcting the sentences on the board, and we've done the first one. We said it's incorrect to say, I don't understand nothing in English. We would need to say, I don't understand anything, because in English, we cannot have double negatives, right? The second sentence is, I didn't understood the lesson. What is wrong with that sentence? Please write the correct sentence and put it in the chat. Anybody? Okay. So for this one, we would need to say, I didn't understand the lesson. Okay. In the affirmative, we say, and it's the past tense, right? For the past tense, if it's affirmative, we say, I understood the lesson. You understood the lesson. She understood, he understood, it understood. So we use understood in the affirmative. But in the negative, we use the original verb, which is the verb to understand. And therefore, we cannot say, I didn't understood. We say, I didn't understand the original verb. I didn't understand the lesson. So, yes, I see some others putting the answers in the chat. Very good. Understood is the problem. Correct English is, I didn't understand the lesson. All right. The next sentence says, I will be traveling on December. What is the problem with that sentence? I will be traveling on December. Please put your answers in the chat. What is the problem with I will be traveling on December? How do you correct it? I know the chat is pretty slow, so I'm just waiting a little bit. Getchny says traveling. No, there's nothing wrong with traveling. There's another problem though. I will travel on December. Getchny says I will be travel. Will be traveling is correct. That's the future continuous tense, and it's correct. You can say I will be traveling. Hi, Jean. How are you? Thank you for joining. So, yes, we can say I will be traveling in this. I just gave you the answer. We can say I will be doing my homework at 5 p.m. today. That is the future continuous. So, no, the problem is not I will be traveling. That is perfectly okay. The problem is on December, okay? When we are talking about the months of the year, we use in when it's just a month. So we can say in March, I will be going to the Dominican Republic. In July, I have a picnic to attend. And when we use the month only, we say in. But if we're using a specific date, like December 5th, that's when we say on December 5th. Okay? So I hope that's clear. If it's just a month, we say in March, in December, in July, in August. But if it is a specific date, like December 5th or March 28th or September 5th, then we say on. Okay, so we would need to say, I will be traveling in December. All right. Okay, Gina, I'm glad you're doing well. I'm doing okay too. Thank you. All right. And the next sentence says, I have some problems, family. I hope you can see it. I have some problems, family. What is the problem with that sentence? I have some problems, family. What is the mistake? Okay, Lay says, I have some family problems. Very good. Okay, you guys have some strange names. I'ma cry. Oh, wow. I don't even know who you are. What are your real names? Huh? Lay VM. What is your real name? And I'ma cry. What is your real name? Getchni Moise. I know you, and that is your real name. But for the others, yes. So we would say, I have some family problems. In French and in Spanish, we may be able to say, I have some problems, family. But in English, it's the reverse. I have some family problems. Okay, Lorelai. Thank you. And nice to have you, Mark. Nice to have you. All right. So I'm going to put another sentence in the chat. It says, she is more healthier than her sister. What is the problem with that sentence? She is more healthier than her sister. What is the problem? How would you correct it? All right. So Mark says more. More is the problem? Are you saying you would eliminate more? Okay, I think that's what you're saying. So, yes, we cannot say she is more healthier than her sister. Okay, very good. So, we can say she's healthier than her sister because healthy is a two-syllable adjective that ends with Y. And for those two-syllable adjectives, we remove the Y, we put an I, and then we add ER to form the comparative and EST to form the superlative. So we don't need to say she's more healthier than her sister. We're either going to use more or we're going to use ER. Okay, so she is healthier than her sister. Very good, Getchni. That would be correct. She is healthier than her sister. And then the final sentence is, today is the worst day of my life. What is the problem with that sentence? Today is the worst day of my life. What is the error? Anybody? Today is the worst, WORSE, day of my life. What is the mistake? All right, so Lorelai says today is the worst day of my life. Okay, correct, but we can't say my worst day of my life. We would say the worst day of my life. And today is one separate word. Okay, but yes, very good. Getchni says today is the worst day of my life. That is correct. Okay, so worse is the comparative. If we're comparing two nouns, then we use worse. And hopefully you can see that. So if we're talking about two people, we could say, oh, my brother is worse than my sister. If we're saying, for example, that they are always late, my brother is worse than my sister. Worse, because we're talking about two nouns, two people, right? But oh, it says that I've been disconnected from the chat. Can you guys still hear me? Okay, it's been successfully connected. Right. But if we're talking about three people, four people, five people, then I would say you are the worst friend I have because I'm talking about all my friends. But if I'm comparing two of my friends, then I would say, oh, Anna is worse than Sasha. So worse is comparative and worst is superlative. Okay. So, in conclusion, remember that it's incorrect to say I don't understand nothing. We do not have double negatives in English. We have to cancel one of them. And a good way to do that is to say I don't understand anything. Okay. Number two, I didn't understood the lesson. For the past tense, in the negative, we use didn't plus the original verb. And so the original verb from understood is understand, and therefore correct English is I didn't understand the lesson. The next one says I will be traveling on December. That is incorrect. We use in when we are only referring to a month of the year. So in March, in April, in May, in June, in July. But if it's a specific date, like July 4th, then we would say on. On July 4th, this is what I will be doing. But I will be traveling in December. Okay. And then the next one says, I have some problems, family. This is incorrect because in English, it's the reverse. I have some family problems. That would be correct. I have some family problems. And then we spoke about using constructions like more, healthier. That is incorrect because to form the comparative, we either use more or we use er. If the adjective has one syllable, we use er. If the adjective ends in a y, then we change the y to I and we add er. If the adjective has three or more syllables, we use more. So we can say a cat is more intelligent than a dog, right? Or we can say the marker is smaller than the cell phone because small has one syllable. So we add er in the comparative. So if you hear people say, for example, that the marker is more smaller than the cell phone, then that is incorrect because you can never say more smaller. You say smaller. The marker is smaller than the phone. Or if the adjective has three or more syllables like beautiful, then you add more. So the color blue is more beautiful than the color green. Okay. All right. Thank you guys for joining. That's it for today. Please type any questions you may have in the chat and I will be sure to answer them at a later date. Okay. Thanks for joining and I will see you next Sunday.